In this video tutorial, we will look at how we can evaluate survey data in MAXQDA with responses to both open-ended and closed-ended questions. First, we import the survey data into MAXQDA. For this, we have three options. We can import the data from an Excel table, import survey data directly from our SurveyMonkey account, or import SPSS files, if we've been working with purely quantitative data. For MAXQDA to process the survey data correctly, an Excel file must follow this format. In the header of the first column, you must have the respondent ID or name. The headers of the other columns must be named after the survey questions. If you want to assign individual respondents or cases to specific document groups, you can also define this by an additional column titled Document Group. This properly formatted Excel file we can now import directly into MAXQDA. In the import dialog, we first see this overview of the data to be imported, and we can adjust the survey name here. In the next window, we see an overview of the questions and can specify whether each is qualitative or quantitative. Responses to qualitative questions are inserted into the document as text and automatically coded with the corresponding question. For quantitative questions, variables are created, and responses are stored as variable values. Here, we can also adjust the variable type. Next, we can specify which column contains the information for the document name and the document group. Once we've set this, we can click here, and the survey is imported into MAXQDA. In the Documents window, each respondent now appears as a separate document. When I open a document, I see the responses to the open-ended questions as text, coded with the questions themselves. And in the code system, a new code has been created for each open-ended question. The standardized questions appear as variables, and we can view and edit the variable values in the data editor for document variables. We can now analyze our imported survey by clicking on Survey Analysis in the Analysis tab, or by clicking the Analyze button next to the survey in the Documents window. In this window, our questions appear on the left, the codes on the right, and in the case of open-ended questions, the individual responses in the center. Through this button, we can also view all other codes in our code system. We can adjust the code system at any time during the analysis process. We can search for keywords in responses using the search function, autocode these search hits, or autocode using a dictionary. Or use existing codes from our code system to differentiate parent codes for the questions with subcodes. All changes are automatically saved in our MAXQDA project. This way, we can pause our work at any time and resume later. In addition, we can write comments to individual segments in the comment column. For example, by summarizing long responses or noting down ideas and observations. In the new Survey Analysis workspace, we can now also analyze our surveys with AI Assist. When we click this button, we can let AI Assist suggest new subcodes based on responses. We can also summarize responses and comments to individual segments, or in a code summary for each question. Through the AI chat, we can chat with the AI about the content of the responses and ask questions. Using this button here, we can also have the sentiment of each response evaluated automatically. The system automatically assesses whether the content is negative, neutral, or positive. The responses can then be autocoded according to their sentiment. When we click on a quantitative, i.e. closed-ended question, statistical information and visualizations for this variable appear in the center of the Survey Analysis workspace. By default, diagrams are displayed. We can also switch to a list view here. we can customize the design of the diagrams up here. For example, change the chart type or assign a new color scheme. And of course, we can export both the diagrams and the tables easily.